July is the month where everything changes fast. With Uranus entering a brand new sign, Neptune and Saturn both going retrograde, and Mercury headed into a dramatic retrograde in Leo. You're being pulled to rethink, realign, and reinvent. This is a cosmic pivot point, a month where you stop waiting, stop doubting, and start listening to the future that's been calling your name. In this video, I'm breaking down the surprise shifts that Uranus and Gemini will bring, what the Capricorn full moon is pushing you to release, how to thrive during Mercury retrograde in Leo, and the Leo new moon, which kicks off your boldest chapter yet. So find your rising sign, grab your journal, and let's decode how to work with this wild but powerful month ahead.
Aries rising. So July is a month of mental liberation, creative realignment, and breaking cycles of burnout and people pleasing. Everything about how you think, speak, and show up in your work and relationships is shifting, and it's not subtle. It all begins on July 5th when Venus is in a conjunction with Uranus between your second and third houses. So this is happening right as Uranus moves into Gemini for the next 8 years. So you are being cracked wide open when it comes to your self-worth, your voice, and your mindset. The way you've been communicating, especially around money, confidence, or your story, it's all up for radical change. Any limiting beliefs around, I don't know enough, they won't listen to me, or I have to prove myself, are all being exposed and uprooted. You may feel called to change how you speak, write, share, or sell. This is the beginning of a long-term reinvention of how your mind works and how your words shape your reality. Now, the full moon in Capricorn on July 10th lights up your 10th house of visibility, achievement, and reputation. Something career-related is culminating, either a breakthrough in your leadership, recognition for your work, or a moment of emotional clarity around what you're no longer willing to chase. The pressure to perform a version of success that's no longer aligned is falling away. If you've been carrying guilt or burnout from overfunctioning in public roles, this moon will push you to release it and realign with what actually nourishes your ambition. Then comes Mercury retrograde in Leo from July 18th until August 11th. This is moving through your 5th house of self-expression, creativity, pleasure, and romance. This retrograde is a call to pause and reflect on what joy actually means to you now. So you may be rethinking a creative project, reevaluating a relationship, or questioning whether you're showing up authentically in your art, your dating life, or even your personal brand. This is your chance to return to a version of self-expression that feels unfiltered, bold, and true, not curated for applause. Now, on July 20th, Mars in Virgo is making an opposition to the North Node in Pisces. So this is activating your 6th and 12th house axis, aka the tension between doing and being. This is a powerful wake-up call around how much of your energy is spent fixing, solving, or proving yourself through action versus how much you're willing to slow down, trust, and receive. The workaholic mindset is being challenged. If your to-do list is running your nervous system, this opposition may bring a mini crisis that forces you to ask, what's the real cost of over-efforting? Let your inner world become part of your strategy, not just an afterthought. And finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th opens a brand new cycle in your 5th house. So this is your creative rebirth. The invitation is to make joy your strategy. So whether it's a new romance, an artistic idea, or a courageous leap into the spotlight, this moon wants you to stop waiting for permission and start building a life that you're proud to enjoy. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy of this month is first to focus on reclaiming your voice and your mental freedom. Begin noticing where you default to over-explaining, filtering, or doubting your intelligence. Journal or speak aloud the truths you've been afraid to say. Consider changing the way you teach, write, or market yourself. It needs to reflect the new you. Next is to focus on releasing outdated career programming. Reflect on what you've been pursuing professionally. Is it still aligned? Or does it feel like a role you were conditioned to play? Set boundaries with any jobs, clients, or goals that are draining you. And if you're stepping into a new level of leadership, the Capricorn full moon says, lead like you mean it. Next is to focus on returning to what makes you feel alive. So take a pause before launching anything new in love, dating, or creative businesses. Rekindle a creative dream that you've abandoned out of fear that it wouldn't work. And if your inner child feels bored, restricted, or overworked, listen. Play is your portal to power this month. Also, be sure to detox your productivity patterns. So stop measuring your worth by how much you do. Explore rituals, rest, and spiritual hygiene as legitimate parts of your daily workflow. And ask yourself, are you working out of inspiration or out of guilt? And finally, set powerful creative intentions. Plant seeds for joy, romance, and self-expression without performance pressure. And ask yourself, what would I create if I trusted that being myself was enough? A great affirmation for you for the month of July is, I honor the voice within me, lead from my truth, and create a life rooted in joy. Be sure to let me know how the energy of July is showing up for you in the comments. And if you like what you heard, be sure to like, send it to someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe to stay tapped in. And if you're ready to align with the version of you that actually gets what they want, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Taurus rising. So July is a financial, foundational, and emotional reset with the spotlight on your self-worth, home, and belief systems. The energy of this month invites you to stop playing it safe out of fear of instability and start grounding into the version of you that knows their value, even when the world around you is shifting. It all begins with Venus making a conjunction with Uranus between your first and second houses on July 5th, happening just as Uranus enters Gemini in your second house of money, confidence, and values. This is a massive frequency shift for your identity and your income. You're no longer meant to earn money the old way or to be seen through the lens of who you used to be. This is about a radical reclamation of your independence, magnetism, and voice, especially in how you generate wealth, set boundaries, and own your desires. You may experience a wake-up call around what you've outgrown in business, beauty, or belief, and it's happening to set you free. The Capricorn full moon on July 10th lights up your ninth house, exposing what's no longer aligned with your growth, your faith, or your perspective. This could be the moment you finally let go of a limiting belief that's kept you stuck in survival mode. If you felt disconnected from your intuition, your spiritual practice, or your vision for the future, this moon brings emotional closure, helping you to break the spell of old stories and say yes to expansion again. Then comes Mercury retrograde in Leo from July 18th until August 11th. And this is moving through your fourth house of home, roots, family, and emotional safety. So you may find yourself revisiting issues from the past, especially childhood wounds or family dynamics that still shape your sense of security. This is a chance to reconnect with your inner foundation, reestablish emotional boundaries, and release ancestral patterns that no longer define who you are. You may also be navigating literal changes to your home, such as moving, redecorating, or reconsidering where you truly belong. On July 20th, Mars in Virgo is making an opposition to the North Node in Pisces. So this is activating your 5th and 11th houses. This is the axis of personal joy versus collective approval. This transit brings up the tension between your authentic expression and the pressure to perform, be liked, or keep others comfortable. If you've been dimming your light to fit into certain groups or afraid to fully own your gifts, this is your moment to break the pattern. Happiness is not a luxury. It's a soul assignment. And finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th gives you a deeply personal reset in your fourth house. So this is supporting a fresh start in how you nurture yourself and define your sense of home. This is your invitation to rewrite your emotional foundation and start choosing safety that comes from within and not from external permission or familiarity. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy of July is first to upgrade your income and identity story. So start separating your self-worth from your net worth. They're not the same. Pay attention to sudden ideas or offers around income. They may feel risky, but that's part of your evolution. And trust the pull to pivot or experiment with how you earn. A more aligned path is trying to get your attention. Next is to focus on releasing outdated beliefs about your future. Ask yourself, whose version of success have I been chasing? Let go of guilt for outgrowing your original plan. Your path is sacred, even when it doesn't look logical. This is a great time to end cycles of self-doubt around your wisdom, teaching, or spiritual gifts. Next is to focus on revisiting your emotional roots. So, family conversations may resurface. Approach them with compassion, not obligation. If childhood or ancestral patterns are resurfacing, it's because you're strong enough to transmute them now. Redefine what home means to you and release the need to belong where you no longer feel safe. Next is to reclaim your joy without guilt. You don't need to shrink yourself to be loved. Step back from communities or platforms where you feel unseen or muted. Make space for creative play, even if it doesn't feel productive. That's where your power is. And finally, set powerful intentions for inner safety. Focus on what kind of internal environment you want to live in. What emotions, thoughts, and beliefs would feel like home inside of your body. Use the Leo full moon to call in deeper self-trust, comfort, and emotional stability. A great affirmation for you for the month of July is, I trust in my worth, ground into my truth, and create a life that feels like home. Be sure to let me know how the energy of July is showing up for you in the comments. And of course, go ahead and send this to a friend who's ready for a shift, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you're ready to step into your upgraded timeline, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Gemini rising. So July marks the beginning of your personal revolution. You're stepping into a version of yourself that no longer waits for external validation or old labels to define you. This month is about identity alchemy, emotional healing, and realigning your voice with your truth. It all begins on July 5th with Venus conjunct Uranus between your 12th and 1st houses. And this is signaling a karmic unraveling of subconscious patterns that have quietly shaped your identity for years. This is the breaking of a spiritual spell. So you may experience unexpected emotional insights, intuitive downloads, or a pull to break free from personas that no longer fit. Then on July 7th, Uranus officially enters Gemini. So of course, this is your first house of self, image, and your body. So this is kicking off an 8-year cycle of total reinvention. You're becoming who you actually are, not who you were told to be. So expect major shifts in your style, your voice, your mindset, and how others perceive you. Now, the Capricorn full moon on July 10th activates your 8th house, bringing a deeply emotional release around themes of trust, power, intimacy, and shared resources. So if you've been giving too much, holding on to energetic debts, or fearing emotional exposure, this moon helps you to reclaim your power. It's a shedding of soul contracts, anywhere you felt bound, indebted, or invisible. On July 18th, Mercury retrograde in Leo begins. This is moving through your 3rd house of communication, mindset, and learning. This retrograde hits home for you, so you may feel pulled to revisit an old writing project, have important conversations with siblings or peers, or face old mental patterns rooted in over-explaining or doubting your brilliance. This is your chance to reclaim your mental sovereignty and speak from truth, not survival. July 20th brings the Mars North Node opposition. So this is lighting up your 4th and 10th houses. This is a huge checkpoint around emotional safety versus public image. You're being asked to heal the inner foundation that supports your external success. If your home life, nervous system, or past wounds are going unchecked, they'll spill over into your work. So this is your permission slip to stop abandoning yourself in order to keep up appearances. And finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th gives you a beautiful moment of renewal in your 3rd house, activating your voice, mindset, and message. So whether you're launching a new brand, starting a writing project, or simply choosing to speak up with more confidence, this moon helps you to set a bold new intention around how you express who you're becoming. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy of July is first to embrace your identity shift. So let go of roles or reputations you've outgrown, even if others still expect you to play them. Prioritize your nervous system. Sudden awakenings can feel overwhelming, so slow down and integrate. And also trust your weird. Your individuality is your power now. No more shape-shifting to be liked. Next is to focus on releasing emotional entanglements. So reflect on energetic leaks. Where are you still giving to what no longer gives back? You may have a breakthrough around money that's owed to you, emotional dependence, or deep-seated fears around being fully seen. Honor what you've healed and create a space for deeper mutual soul connections. Next is to reclaim your mental clarity and confidence. So review contracts, conversations, and belief systems that are overdue for a revision. Rewrite your inner narrative. Are your thoughts supporting your expansion or keeping you small? If you've been silencing yourself to avoid conflict, this is your moment to practice truthful, heart-centered communication. Next is to balance your inner world with your ambition. So ask yourself, is my foundation strong enough to hold the success I'm calling in? Redefine success to include peace, safety, and emotional stability, not just achievements. Tending to your home, inner child, and rest cycles will expand your career more than overworking ever could. And finally, set intentions for powerful, authentic self-expression. Begin a new story through journaling, speaking, teaching, or sharing your voice publicly. Own your role as a messenger. You are meant to move people with your words, not water them down. Release the fear of sounding too much. Say what you came here to say. A great affirmation for you for the month of July is, I honor my evolution, speak with clarity, and become the truest version of myself. Be sure to let me know how the energy of July is showing up for you in the comments. And if you like what you heard, be sure to hit like, send it to someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe to stay tapped in. And if you're ready to claim the version of you that doesn't settle, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Cancer rising. So this month pulls you inward and forward at the same time. It's a period of soul level release, relational rebirth, and deep reconnection to your personal power. July asks, are you still trying to protect a version of you that no longer exists? Because what's being asked of you now is to trust the unknown more than the familiar. It begins on July 5th with Venus conjunct Uranus between your 11th and 12th houses, just before Uranus enters Gemini and your 12th house for the next 8 years. This is not a subtle shift. It initiates a long-term journey of spiritual liberation, karmic closure, and emotional awakening. You're being called to detach from communities, identities, and long-held dreams that no longer reflect who you're becoming. This is the start of a deeper awakening around what freedom means, not just externally, but energetically. So you may feel more sensitive, intuitive, or emotionally raw, but that's because your inner self is clearing space for divine clarity. Now, on July 10th, the Capricorn full moon activates your 7th house of relationships, contracts, and reflection. This is a culmination point in your partnerships, romantic, business, or otherwise. So if something's felt one-sided, stagnant, or karmically charged, this full moon could bring truth to the surface. It may be time to close a chapter or radically shift how you show up in relationships. The theme is no more self-abandonment in the name of peace. Next, we have Mercury retrograde in Leo from July 18th to August 11th. And this moves through your 2nd house of self-worth, money, and values. This retrograde invites you to reassess the connection between your confidence and your coin. Are you undercharging, overgiving, or waiting for someone else to validate your worth? Old money stories may resurface, not to shame you, but to be rewritten. This is your opportunity to realign with your value system and shift your money mindset from fear to freedom. On July 20th, the Mars North Node opposition hits your 3rd and 9th houses. So this is illuminating a tug of war between familiar thinking versus expansive belief. So you may realize that your current mindset is too small for your soul's vision. This is a cosmic push to stop over-explaining, over-analyzing, or second-guessing your truth. The past can't lead where your spirit wants to go. Choose vision over logic. Then comes your reset moment. The Leo new moon on July 24th is opening a new cycle in your 2nd house. So this is about starting fresh with your self-worth, income, and personal security. What would your life look like if you moved from deep inner value, not fear of rejection, not scarcity, not proving yourself? This moon supports bold, heart-centered intentions around money, self-trust, and emotional ownership. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is to first let your intuition lead the way. So pay attention to dreams, emotional triggers, or sudden shifts in friendships. Your nervous system is clearing karmic residue. Give yourself space to feel it, not fix it. And you may feel like withdrawing from the world. That's not regression. It's recalibration. Next is to focus on being radically honest in relationships. So notice where you've been overcompensating or waiting to be chosen. If a dynamic is built on obligation, this moon may bring clarity or closure. You are not here to be easy to love. You're here to be true. Next is to focus on redefining your relationship with value. So revisit old financial decisions, pricing structures, or self-worth habits. And ask yourself, where am I still seeking permission to receive, earn, or rest? This is a time to reclaim your internal sense of wealth before it shows up externally. Next is to choose expansive beliefs over looping thoughts. So if your mind feels cluttered, journal or speak your truth out loud. Get it out of your body. This is a potent time to unlearn what kept you small and rewire your inner narrative. Trust your soul's urge to learn, travel, teach, or express from a bigger place. And finally, set intentions for emotional and financial stability. Focus on income streams that reflect your gifts, not just your grind. Anchor into your inherent worth. You don't have to deserve what's already yours by divine right. Let the Leo new moon be your energetic declaration. I no longer shrink to survive. A great affirmation for you for the month of July is, I trust my worth, speak my truth, and choose relationships that honor my evolution. Be sure to let me know how the energy of July is showing up for you in the comments. And of course, be sure to like, send this to a friend who needs it, and subscribe so you never miss an upgrade. And if you're ready to follow the nudge that brought you here, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Leo rising. So this month is a personal turning point for you. July brings you face to face with the version of yourself that has been hiding behind hustle, performance, or obligation, and invites you to lead from your core instead of your conditioning. The energy is bold, confrontational, and liberating all at once. You are stepping into your next level visibility, but only if it's aligned. Things start off hot with Venus conjunct Uranus between your 10th and 11th houses on July 5th, just as Uranus enters Gemini and your 11th house. So this is a shakeup in your career, reputation, audience, and long-term vision. So you may suddenly feel called to pivot professionally, launch something radical, or detach from old social circles and outdated platforms. You are not meant to be a watered-down version of yourself to stay palatable. You're meant to create waves by being real. So expect surprises in how you collaborate, how you're perceived online, or how you take the stage, literally or metaphorically. Then on July 10th, the Capricorn full moon hits your 6th house, exposing patterns around work, routine, health, and burnout. This is a detox. If you've been pushing through out of duty, people pleasing, or pressure, something may give. The truth is, your wellness and workflow need a restructure. So whether it's a job that no longer aligns or habits that don't support your glow, this full moon is a wake-up call to reclaim balance between effort and embodiment. Now, your signature moment arrives with Mercury retrograde in Leo from July 18th through August 11th. And this is, of course, lighting up your first house of identity, self-image, and confidence. This is a rare opportunity to rewrite the story you tell yourself about yourself. So you may feel reflective, uncertain, or even creatively blocked at first, but that's the point. You're being asked to reassess how you're presenting yourself, how you speak about who you are, and what mask, if any, you're still wearing. It's a total ego detox so that you can rise more aligned. July 20th brings a powerful Mars North Node opposition, activating your 2nd and 8th house axis. This is all about self-worth versus dependency, ownership versus avoidance. So if you've been giving away your power in exchange for safety, love, or validation, this will be a turning point. You are meant to build wealth, trust, and confidence from within, not by attaching to outside approval or fear-based control. Finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th is your new moon. So this marks your rebirth, your rebrand, your realignment. The universe is handing you the mic, but only if you speak from your truth, not your performance script. Don't wish to be liked. Choose to be free. This moon supports bold new self-declarations, personal image shifts, and energetic resets around how you show up, speak up, and lead. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to reinvent how you're seen. So embrace a more authentic, magnetic version of leadership, one that's rooted in truth, not approval. Upgrade your relationship with social media, community, or visibility. Are you playing a role or building a movement? Be sure that you are collaborating with innovators, not imitators. This energy favors originality over conformity. Next is to focus on releasing self-sacrificial routines. Take inventory of your daily habits. Which ones are actually draining your shine? Rest is not a reward. It is required for your radiance. And if you have been over-delivering in your job or relationships, ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I stop? Next is to focus on reclaiming your personal brand and voice. Mercury retrograde is your permission slip to stop pretending and start realigning. So you can journal. Who am I when no one's watching? Let that be your starting point. Revisit photos, bios, pitches, or public-facing content. It's time for a soulful update. Next is to rewrite your worth story. So track where scarcity still lives in your life, be it money, intimacy, or self-trust. Start making decisions that reflect what you deserve, not what you're afraid to lose. Let your investments, emotional, financial, energetic, reflect your values, not your wounds. And finally, plant the seeds for your next chapter. The Leo new moon is your energetic new year, so be intentional. Set bold goals for how you want to feel, show up, and be seen. Don't wait to be ready. You already are. A great affirmation for you for the month of July is, I lead with authenticity, honor my needs, and express myself with fearless truth. Be sure to let me know how the energy of July is showing up for you in the comments. And if you like what you heard, be sure to hit like, send it to someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe to stay tapped in. And if you're ready to claim the version of you that doesn't settle, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Virgo rising. So July brings a massive shift in direction. So this month is about letting go of the control that keeps you small and stepping into a more liberated, purpose-driven version of success. But in true Virgo fashion, it won't happen by forcing it. It happens by surrendering what's no longer aligned with your evolution. So the story starts with a bang on July 5th when Venus conjuncts Uranus between your 9th and 10th houses, right as Uranus enters Gemini and your 10th house of career, visibility, and purpose. So this is the beginning of an 8-year reinvention of your public life. Your relationship to work, legacy, leadership, and success is shifting dramatically, and it begins now. So you may feel a jolt of clarity around your mission or a sudden desire to break free from structures that limit your voice. So whether you're launching something new or walking away from an outdated path, the message is clear. You are meant to lead in your own way. So expect breakthroughs and shakeups around your professional identity. Then on July 10th, the Capricorn full moon illuminates your 5th house of creativity, fun, romance, and self-expression. So something that you've been building from the heart is reaching culmination. So this could be the completion of a creative project, a moment of emotional truth in a romantic connection, or a realization about how much you've outgrown the pressure to be perfect. This moon invites you to stop holding your joy hostage until the work is done. You deserve pleasure now, so let yourself feel proud and let yourself release anything that no longer reflects your current vibration. Now, Mercury retrograde in Leo kicks off on July 18th, moving through your 12th house of solitude, intuition, and spiritual release. This is a quiet, reflective chapter, one where your inner world becomes your priority. So old fears, memories, or dreams may resurface, especially if they've been left unprocessed. You're being asked to retreat, listen inward, and clear the mental clutter. Don't force clarity. Let it come to you. This is an ideal time for journaling, private coaching, dream work, and gentle nervous system healing. Then on July 20th, Mars in Virgo opposes the North Node in Pisces. So this is activating your first and seventh houses. Now, this is a major moment of self versus relationship, assertion versus surrender. So if you've been overgiving, overfunctioning, or losing your identity in relationships, this energy brings things to a head. You're being pushed to prioritize your own desires and direction without guilt. You don't have to abandon love to choose yourself, but you do have to stop abandoning yourself for love. Finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th brings a powerful energetic clearing in your 12th house. And this is marking the start of a deep emotional and spiritual reset. This moon is about releasing what's hidden, stuck, or no longer yours to carry. So whether it's a limiting belief, a subconscious fear, or energetic tie, you're making room for peace, softness, and higher alignment. This is a portal. Trust what's leaving. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy of July is first to say yes to career reinvention. So don't ignore the urge to pivot professionally. It's your soul calling. Take bold steps toward the version of success that feels liberating, not just impressive. So whether you're launching a business, switching careers, or rebranding, do it your way. Next is to celebrate and release in love and creativity. So let yourself be seen, unfiltered, imperfect, and joyful. If you've been holding your creativity back out of fear that it won't be good enough, the Capricorn full moon says, good enough for who? So you may need to release a romantic fantasy that's run its course or finally express your true feelings. Next is to retreat and recalibrate. So with Mercury retrograding in your 12th, your mental health needs care, not control. So make solitude intentional. Disconnect to reconnect with your intuition. Don't rush decisions. Answers are forming beneath the surface. Next is to reclaim your self-advocacy. So start speaking up for what you want, even if it rocks the boat. This is about dissolving codependency, not rejecting connection. Let your relationships reflect your evolution, not your old survival patterns. And finally, plant seeds for soul-level healing for the Leo new moon happening in your 12th. So clear what you've been secretly holding on to, whether it's grief, shame, regret, or guilt. Rest is the medicine. So meditation, dreams, water rituals, or spiritual cleansing will serve you deeply now. And set intentions for peace, clarity, and gentle guidance from your higher self. A great affirmation for you for the month of July is, I trust my evolution, release what no longer serves, and rise into alignment with my higher path. Let me know what clicked for you and drop it in the comments. And of course, go ahead and send this to a friend who's ready for a shift, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you're done playing small with your power, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Libra rising. So, July is a month of emotional shedding, vision expansion, and community clarity. You're being asked to stop performing peace and start pursuing alignment, even if it disrupts the status quo. The roles you've played to keep the harmony are being rewritten. This is your time to reclaim your deeper truth, even if it means being misunderstood along the way. It all begins on July 5th when Venus conjuncts Uranus between your 8th and ninth houses, just as Uranus enters Gemini and your ninth house for the long haul. So this is a major awakening around your belief systems, personal freedom, spiritual path, and purpose. The way you think about truth, learning, teaching, and life itself is being rewired. Expect surprising shifts in your worldview, travel plans, or even who you're drawn to learn from. You're no longer interested in watered-down wisdom. You want the real thing, and you're ready to break free from any structure, religious, educational, or mental, that's kept you playing small. Then on July 10th, the Capricorn full moon lights up your fourth house of home, roots, family, and emotional foundation. Something old is being released. This could be a literal living situation, an ancestral pattern, or a belief about what you're supposed to be for others. This moon invites you to redefine what emotional safety means for you and gives you permission to stop being the emotional glue that holds everything together when it's breaking you apart. Next up, Mercury retrograde in Leo begins July 18th, activating your 11th house of friendships, community, and future vision. This retrograde brings up people and ideas from the past, so you can decide if they still fit into the future you're building. So you may be questioning who you're building your dreams with. Are your current circles truly aligned with your values and growth? If not, this is your window to reset your standards around community, collaboration, and contribution. Then on July 20th, the Mars North Node opposition hits your 12th and 6th house axis. So this is bringing up a critical question. Are your habits healing you or hiding you? You're being pushed to break the pattern of silent suffering, especially the kind that comes from trying to be good, productive, or spiritual at the expense of your own needs. This is a wake-up call to reprioritize your inner healing, your body, and your boundaries. Finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th opens a fresh, expansive chapter in your 11th house, inviting you to set powerful intentions for community, leadership, and long-term dreams. This is a cosmic green light to dream bigger, but only if you're willing to build with people who see and support the real you. You're here to create the space you've always looked for. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to break free from limiting beliefs and expand your vision. So don't hold on to old truths just because they're familiar. Start asking, what would life look like if I gave myself permission to fully trust my own wisdom? This is your moment to explore, experiment, and break open. Next is to heal emotional roots and choose your own foundation. Let go of guilt for leaving behind what no longer feels like home. Emotional labor is not your life purpose. You are allowed to feel safe, supported, and at peace, even if that means doing things differently than your family did. Next is to rethink your community and your contribution. So during the Mercury retrograde happening in your 11th house, old friends or collaborators may re-enter, but don't default to old dynamics. Use this time to refine your vision. What do you actually want to build? And with who? Let your future be authentically yours, not a compromise for belonging. Next is to release self-sacrificing habits. If you've been overworking or spiritually bypassing your needs, this is your cue to stop. So tend to your body, your rest, and your inner world with the same care you give others. Let rest become a revolution. And finally, set intentions for future aligned connection. With the Leo new moon also happening in your 11th house, dream new dreams and don't water them down. Say yes to collaboration that lights you up, not just what keeps you connected. This is your permission slip to create a new future from a place of full truth. A great affirmation for you for the month of July is, I release what no longer feels like home and align with a future that reflects my truth. Be sure to let me know how the energy of July is showing up for you in the comments. And of course, go ahead and send this to a friend who's ready for a shift, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you're ready to move like the main character in your life, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Scorpio rising. So July is about transformation through truth. So you are being asked to look at your attachments, your visibility, and your long-term goals with raw honesty. There's no more room for half-truths, strategic silence, or lingering in power dynamics that keep you emotionally stuck. This month, the truth will liberate you, but only if you stop protecting what's been draining you. Now, it all starts July 5th, when Venus conjuncts Uranus between your 7th and 8th houses, just as Uranus is entering Gemini and your 8th house for the next 8 years. This is massive. So you are beginning a long-term journey of radical transformation around intimacy, shared energy, sex, trust, debt, and emotional enmeshment. So if you've been carrying energetic contracts that keep you bound, whether in love, business, or family, this transit starts the unraveling. The Venus-Uranus moment may spark a plot twist and a close connection, or bring you face to face with what you truly want in deep partnership, which is honesty, freedom, transparency, and sovereignty. Then on July 10th, the Capricorn full moon lights up your 3rd house of communication, truth-telling, and mindset. So something that's been unspoken may finally rise to the surface. So whether it's a conversation you've been avoiding, a boundary you've needed to set, or a story you are rewriting in your own mind, this is about choosing clarity over control. You're being asked to speak powerfully, not to win, but to free yourself. Next, Mercury retrograde in Leo begins July 18th and moves through your 10th house of career, visibility, and leadership until August 11th. This transit wants you to rethink how you're being seen. So you may be questioning whether your current career path reflects your soul's work, or whether you're still climbing ladders that no longer matter. This retrograde is an invitation to pause, reflect, and realign your public expression. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to be true. On July 20th, the Mars and North Node opposition hits your 11th and 5th houses, creating tension between your community and your creativity. So if you have been adjusting your voice to be more likable or muting your passion to maintain group harmony, this transit cracks that open. You are meant to lead with your heart, even if it sets you apart from others. It's time to stop diluting your fire to stay comfortable in a crowd that no longer reflects your evolution. And finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th offers a fresh start in your 10th house. So this is giving you permission to step into your next era of purpose, recognition, and self-expression. So whether you are rebranding, launching, retiring a version of your public self, or starting from scratch, this is your moment to declare who you really are. You don't need to fit into a system. You are here to redefine what power looks like. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this energy is first to focus on cutting energetic cords and reclaim your autonomy. So relationships that rely on secrecy, guilt, or control will start to unravel. Don't panic. This is your liberation. You are no longer available for connections that drain your energy or dim your magic. Next is to speak the truth you've been swallowing. So whether it's a conversation, a confession, or a creative expression, say what you need to say. Free yourself from the mental loops that keep you stuck in resentment, fear, or self-doubt. Words are spells, so choose ones that reflect who you're becoming. Next is to reassess your relationship with power and recognition. Reflect on what success means to you, not what you've been taught to chase. Revisit your brand, your leadership style, or your public message. Is it performative or purposeful? You don't need applause. You need alignment. Next is to lead from passion, not performance. Your unique voice is more valuable than fitting in. Say yes to what feels alive, even if it's not strategic. Real community will celebrate your fire, not fear it. And finally, set bold intentions for purpose-driven success. For the Leo new moon, launch, pitch, share, or plan with clarity and courage. Let your higher self, not your fear, lead your next chapter. You don't need to wait for approval. This is your stage now. A great affirmation for you for the month of July is, I speak my truth. own my power, and lead from my soul, not my fear. What hit home for you? Be sure to drop it in the comments. I'm always listening. And if you like what you heard, hit like, send it to someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe to stay tapped in. And if you're ready to follow the nudge that brought you here, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Sagittarius rising. So July is a moment of alignment and reckoning. You're outgrowing the version of yourself that was surviving off potential alone. This is the month where vision meets structure, where your relationships, career, and belief systems are all being recalibrated to reflect your actual growth, not just the idea of it. The month begins with a jolt of energy on July 5th when Venus conjuncts Uranus between your 6th and 7th houses, just as Uranus enters Gemini and your 7th house for an extended 8-year stay. This transit initiates a long-term revolution in your relationships, romantic, professional, and energetic. If you've been compromising yourself to keep the peace, or playing caretaker in connections where reciprocity is lacking, the next chapter starts now. You're being called to change the way you relate, to let relationships evolve into something more liberating, honest, and expansive, or walk away from dynamics that stifle your truth. Then on July 10th, the Capricorn full moon lights up your 2nd house of self-worth, money, and values. Something around your earning potential, inner confidence, or sense of safety is reaching a breaking point. If you've been building your worth around external success or others' opinions, this moon brings clarity. You may have an emotional release around the pressure to prove or finally claim a new standard for how you want to be valued, financially, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, Mercury retrograde in Leo begins July 18th through August 11th, moving through your 9th house of belief systems, expansion, education, and spirituality. So you may start to question the truth you've been living. What was once a motivating belief may now feel limiting. This retrograde invites you to re-examine your philosophy on life. Something needs editing before it goes global. If it's not a no, it's a refinement. So let your next leap be rooted in wisdom, not escapism. On July 20th, the Mars North Node opposition activates your 10th and 4th houses, pulling tension between your public life and private needs. If you've been pushing hard toward career success, but ignoring the parts of yourself that need rest, healing, or emotional nourishment, this transit says real success starts at home. You're not here to chase a title at the expense of your nervous system. It's time to redefine what ambition looks like through the lens of soul care. And finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th opens a fresh chapter in your 9th house, giving you permission to dream bigger, but from a grounded place. This is an excellent time to set intentions around travel, teaching, publishing, or spiritual growth. The key is to make sure that your desire to escape isn't running the show. True freedom comes from within, and that's what this moon is helping you to remember. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month: is first to focus on reinventing your relationships and rewire your patterns. So if the dynamic isn't evolving, it's dissolving. Say no to relationships that rely on your silence, shrinking, or emotional labor to survive. Embrace partnerships, romantic or business, that give you room to breathe and be seen. Next is to reclaim your self-worth and rewrite your money story. So let go of outdated beliefs about what you have to do to be secure. If you're under-earning or over-proving, ask yourself, who taught me that this was my role? This is a powerful time to raise your standards in love, money, and self-respect. Next is to review your path forward with discernment. Mercury retrograding in your 9th is about revisiting educational plans, spiritual practices, or big ideas that feel exciting but may need tweaking. So use this time to check your motives. Are you expanding for the right reasons or just trying to escape discomfort? Your intuition is your compass. Let it guide your edits. Next is to balance ambition with emotional integrity. If the world sees your wins, but your inner world feels wobbly, something needs to shift. Make room for softness, rituals, home healing, or therapy as part of your definition of success. Don't sacrifice peace for progress. And finally, set a bold new vision that's rooted in truth for the Leo new moon, also happening in your 9th house. So say yes to what lights up your soul, not what checks the boxes. This is your chance to redefine your why and realign with what you truly believe in. Dream boldly, but from grounded belief. No more running. You're ready to build it. A great affirmation for you for the month of July is, I honor my truth, expand with purpose, and create from a foundation of self-worth. Be sure to let me know how the energy of July is showing up for you in the comments. And be sure to like, send this to a friend who needs it, and subscribe so you never miss an upgrade. And if you're tired of the self-help spiral and just want real results, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Capricorn rising. So this month is a deep reset of your identity, energy, and relationship with control. July brings you face to face with the question, who are you when you're not managing everything? The universe is asking you to soften, not to lose your edge, but to realign with your essence instead of your expectations. It all starts with a powerful shakeup on July 5th when Venus conjuncts Uranus between your 5th and 6th houses, just as Uranus enters Gemini and your 6th house for the next 8 years. You're entering a long-term evolution of your daily rhythm, work life, health patterns, and relationship with perfectionism. This is your official invitation to liberate yourself from burnout culture and find a new way of being productive, one that actually sustains your nervous system, not just your resume. Expect surprises in your day-to-day, work environment, or creative flow, especially around how you balance responsibility with joy. Then on July 10th, the Capricorn full moon hits your first house of identity, visibility, and self expression. This is a culmination moment for you. So you may be releasing an old version of yourself, shedding expectations you once clung to, or letting go of the mask you've worn to stay strong. Let this moon be your rebirth. You've grown. You don't have to lead with the version of you that had to survive everything. You're allowed to evolve in public. Now, Mercury retrograde in Leo begins July 18th and continues until August 11th. And this is moving through your 8th house of emotional intimacy, energetic bonds, and shadow work. So this is a reflective time. It's calling you to slow down and examine what you've been carrying that isn't yours. So you may revisit past fears, power struggles, or financial entanglements. Hidden emotions or old contracts, emotional or literal, may resurface for resolution. This is a deep detox of your inner world and your energetic ties. Don't be afraid to feel it all. This retrograde wants to transform you, not torment you. Now on July 20th, the Mars North Node opposition activates your 9th and 3rd houses. So this is highlighting the friction between your higher truth and your mental loops. It's time to move from overanalysis to inspired action. If your mind has been replaying the past or obsessing over details, this aspect pushes you to leap forward toward expansion, travel, study, or spiritual alignment. The medicine is to zoom out and let your faith lead. Finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th opens a powerful new chapter in your 8th house. So this is inviting deep emotional regeneration and soul healing. This moon supports you in clearing energetic residue from past relationships, financial ties, and emotional wounds. It's a call to step into emotional empowerment, not by building new walls, but by creating deeper self-trust. You are no longer someone who survives storms. You are someone who transforms through them. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this energy this month is first to redesign your daily life from the inside out. So let joy, creativity, and spontaneity become part of your daily structure. Reassess how you define being useful. Is it costing you your peace? Your work is evolving, so don't resist the pull to do things differently. Next is to focus on a rebirth of your self-image. Celebrate how far you've come and be willing to look and move like someone new. Let go of the emotional armor that helped you survive, but now blocks your softness. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. Next is to clear energetic baggage. Journal through your emotional debts. Who or what are you still energetically tied to? Revisit past financial or emotional decisions with compassion, not shame. You are allowed to release what no longer holds resonance. You are allowed to begin again. Next is to choose expansion over overthinking. So if your intuition is telling you to go bigger, but your mind is talking you out of it, listen to your soul. This is a push to speak your truth, write the book, apply to the program, or say yes to the leap. You won't think your way into a new life. You will believe your way there. And finally, focus on setting intentions for emotional freedom and soul alignment. The Leo new moon in your 8th is asking you to let this be a clean break with your past shame, fear, or secrecy. Set goals around healing, intimacy, and shared abundance. Call back your energy from anywhere you've abandoned yourself to feel safe. A great affirmation for you for the month of July is, I honor who I've been, trust who I'm becoming, and create success rooted in emotional freedom. Be sure to let me know how the energy of July is showing up for you in the comments. And if you like what you heard, be sure to hit like, send it to someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe to stay tapped in. And if you're ready to flow into the timeline that's already aligned for you, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Aquarius rising. So July is a month of soul reckoning, creative rediscovery, and relational renewal. You're peeling back the layers of who you've been trying to be for everyone else and remembering who you really are. This is the start of a new chapter that invites you to reclaim your joy, rewire your inner child, and reinvent the way you connect. It all kicks off on July 5th when Venus conjuncts Uranus between your 4th and 5th houses, just as Uranus enters Gemini and your 5th house for the next 8 years. This is a massive frequency shift in your chart. The 5th house rules joy, play, romance, self-expression, creativity, and your inner child. Uranus will be rewiring your creative impulses and personal passions, helping you break free from any fear that says you're too much or not enough to be fully seen. Expect breakthroughs in your romantic life, artistic process, or relationship with fun and spontaneity. If you've been playing it safe with your creativity or hiding behind logic, that ends now. You're here to disrupt with heart. Then on July 10th, the Capricorn full moon illuminates your 12th house of subconscious patterns, isolation, and spiritual truth. Something hidden is ready to be released. This may be a belief, a secret you've kept from yourself, or a cycle of emotional avoidance. The full moon invites you to let go of control and allow yourself to heal, not through achievement, but through rest, forgiveness, and surrender. You don't have to hold it all anymore. Next comes Mercury retrograde in Leo from July 18th through August 11th, moving through your 7th house of relationships, reflection, and commitment. This is a potent time for revisiting relationship dynamics, renegotiating boundaries, or reconnecting with someone from your past. You may also be rethinking what partnership actually means to you now. It's not about chasing the fantasy. It's about choosing connection that honors your growth. If you've been giving your power away in love, this retrograde shows you how to reclaim it. On July 20th, the Mars North Node opposition hits your 8th and 2nd houses, pulling on themes of energetic entanglement versus self-sufficiency. You're being asked to release old trauma responses, especially around money, trust, and control, and start claiming your value from within. This may be an intense moment where you're forced to confront emotional dependencies or financial fears. Let it. It's time to cut cords and invest in yourself fully. Finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th offers a beautiful reset in your 7th house, inviting you to rewrite your relationship story from the inside out. So whether you're calling in new love, deepening an existing bond, or realigning your standards, this moon helps you to attract what you're truly ready for. But it starts with one question. Are you ready to choose yourself first? Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy of this month is first to unlock your joy and creative genius. Let yourself create without perfection. Play without guilt. Express without a filter. Expect the unexpected in love, art, and emotional vulnerability. Just go with it. And give your inner child the microphone. They have something to say. Next is to release spiritual and emotional baggage. The Capricorn full moon in your 12th house may bring up old grief, loneliness, or guilt. Don't run from it. Give yourself solitude without isolation. Rest without shame. You're closing a chapter that has been quietly draining your soul for too long. Next is to reevaluate your relationship dynamics. Old lovers or unresolved patterns may return, not to stay, but to show you what's healed. Think about whether your partnerships reflect who you are now, not who you used to be. Don't rush answers. Let your heart speak slowly and clearly. Next is to reclaim your value and power. So track where you've been emotionally overextending just to feel safe. Let go of emotional debts and fear-based intimacy. This is a cosmic nudge to build real, sustainable self-trust from the inside out. And finally, focus on calling in aligned, soul-centered connection. The Leo new moon in your 7th house gives you your chance to set intentions around what kind of relationships you want to experience now. So focus on emotional freedom and authentic resonance. If you've been overfunctioning to be loved, this Leo new moon says your truth is magnetic. A great affirmation for the month of July is, I release old patterns, reclaim my joy, and attract relationships that honor my evolution. Be sure to let me know how the energy of July is showing up for you in the comments. And of course, go ahead and send this to a friend who's ready for a shift, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you're ready to invest in your highest timeline like it's a non-negotiable, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Pisces rising. So, July is a month of sacred redirection, energetic clearing, and lifestyle alignment. The universe is gently, or not so gently, showing you where you've been spiritually full but physically depleted. It's time to restructure your reality so that it supports your sensitivity, not suppresses it. This is your invitation to reconnect with what keeps you grounded, joyful, and whole. It all begins on July 5th when Venus conjuncts Uranus between your third and fourth houses, just as Uranus enters Gemini and your fourth house for the next 8 years. This is huge. Your relationship with home, roots, family, and emotional safety is about to transform. Unexpected shifts may unfold in your living situation, your family dynamics, or your connection to your inner foundation. This is the beginning of a cycle that invites you to redefine what home truly means to you, not based on what you came from, but what your soul needs now. Emotional freedom is your new standard. Then on July 10th, the Capricorn full moon lands in your 11th house of community, vision, and belonging. This is a major release point for outdated friendships, affiliations, or collective goals that no longer feel aligned. You're realizing you don't need to keep proving your value to be included. So you may be letting go of a group, platform, or dream that once felt important, but now feels too small for where your spirit is headed. On July 18th, Mercury retrograde in Leo begins, moving through your 6th house of work, health, service, and daily routine. This is a total recalibration of how you've been showing up in your everyday life. If you've been over-serving, under-resting, or holding yourself to unsustainable standards, this retrograde will bring it to light. You're being asked to return to a rhythm that honors your nervous system, not just your to-do list. It's not laziness, it's alignment. Then on July 20th, the Mars North Node opposition hits your 7th and 1st houses, bringing relationship dynamics into sharp focus. If you've been losing yourself in connection, giving too much, dimming your light, or being overly adaptable, this aspect invites you back into you. There's a shift happening in how you assert your needs, how you show up in partnership, and how you reclaim your autonomy. You're not here to disappear inside of love. You're here to rise inside of it. Finally, the Leo new moon on July 24th opens a healing new cycle in your 6th house, offering a powerful opportunity to restructure your lifestyle in a way that supports your energy, health, and purpose. This is the reset you've needed, whether it's how you work, what you eat, who you serve, or how you manage your time. This moon supports you in choosing systems that protect your magic. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy of this month is first to redefine what home and safety mean for you. So you may feel the urge to move, redecorate, or emotionally detach from family dynamics. Let your version of home reflect your soul, not your survival patterns. Build an inner sanctuary. Emotional freedom starts from within. Next is to release group dynamics that feel draining or outdated. Take inventory of your social circles and digital spaces. Do they support your expansion? You're being called into more aligned community, but to receive it, you must release what's no longer resonant. Don't chase belonging, create it. Next is to rebuild your relationship with productivity. Mercury retrograding in your sixth house is calling you to pause before overcommitting. Revisit your routines with compassion and ask yourself, what is my energy truly available for right now? Healing is not a detour, it's the path. Next is to reclaim your identity in relationships. Stop bending your identity for harmony. You can be loving and assertive. This Mars and North Node opposition is a turning point in how you show up. Ask for what you need and honor your own growth, even if others don't understand it yet. And finally, set intentions during the Leo new moon for a lifestyle rooted in soul nourishment. So this is the time to commit to habits and systems that protect your peace. Choose daily practices that support your physical health and your emotional boundaries. Let this Leo new moon mark the start of your soft discipline era, one where devotion replaces pressure. A great affirmation for the month of July is, I choose routines that honor my energy, relationships that reflect my truth, and a home that supports my soul. Be sure to let me know how the energy of July is showing up for you in the comments. And if this spoke to you, like it, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to stay in the vibe. And if you're done waiting for alignment and are ready to be in alignment, my signature one-on-one sessions and tools are all in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching.